Welcome to Season 3 of the Twendé podcast. Twendé, meaning let's go in Kiswahili, is an accelerator focused on equipping Tennessee-based Black and Brown founders with the resources needed to grow and scale their businesses. I'm M. Wilder, Twendé Program Manager here at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, and your host of the Twendé podcast. We're grateful for support from the David and Rebecca Clements family with additional funding from the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. Thank you for believing in our mission. For past seasons and our latest episodes, visit ec.co/Twendé podcast. Let's go. All right, what's up, everybody? We are here back for Season 3, Episode 2 of the Twendé podcast, here with the incredible Ashley Brooke James, co-founder of TriLuna Wellness, pre-flight alum, and current Twendé coach. Welcome to the show, Ashley.
Yay, thank you. I wish we had that horn. That's what I was waiting on. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Thank you for being here. All right, we're jumping in. Question that I'm asking everyone this season. When you think about your starting five, the folks who you tap in, who are really helping you progress through life and business, tell us a little bit about those five folks.
Oh, well, I'd like to think of these people as being a part of the foundation that, like you said, the people I know I can always go to. First, obviously, my incredible business partner, Elizabeth Moore Amick. Liz and I have such a wonderful business relationship. Our business relationship came first. And then out of that, best friendship happened. And what I love about our relationship is we can keep it 100. She's one person in life that can look me dead in my eye and tell me that I'm out of character or maybe doing too much or maybe not doing enough. And most of the time she's telling me I'm not doing enough. She encourages me to live big and bright. And she's really one of the smartest people I've ever met. My mother is, I think she's been in this life like many, many, many times. She's definitely a jack of all trades, and she is very wise. And my mom gives very thoughtful, intentional advice. She knows how to be passionate, but also like, this is the goal. This is what you said you were going to do. And my mom has always taught me to do everything 100%, no matter what it is. No matter if it is picking up garbage off the side of the road or running an international business like TriLuna. My oldest brother, he is the second person that I knew that graduated from college. And he is, like, he's always been my role model. I've always wanted to be like him. And if he hears this, he's going to get a big head. I still want to be like him. He's an intelligent businessman. He has been able to grow his family business, venture on into real estate, own beautiful homes. And that's inspiring, especially to see a Black man do that. It's very inspiring. And so he's always been that for me. Marcus Whitney, I met him through the entrepreneur, just being a Nashville entrepreneur. And to me, he was, again, a Black leader that I knew about from the very beginning of my journey into this space. And I was told very early that he is not going to just meet with anybody because his time is valuable. And so every opportunity that I had the chance to interact with him at conferences or anything, I made sure that I walked up to him, introduced him, and let him know that he would know my name. And he has turned into such a mentor friend. So is that 4 people? So I have one more?
Yeah, number 5.
Number 5. Who is it? Actually, it's my best friends, my childhood best friends. It's 6 of us They were the first people that I even told that I was going to start a business. And they always like, well, duh, we were waiting for you to tell us that. My best friends are absolutely amazing. We grew up together. Our parents are best friends. So we literally have known each other since we were 5 years old. These are the first people I talk to every day, even before I talk to my husband. We text every morning. We text all day long on multiple ends. And what I love about them, they're the first people that I go to about new business ideas or new collaborations, or just really honest advice. Like, tell me what you think about this. And they give it to me real. And I am very attracted by people who keep it 100. That's why I'm married to my husband. So we can add him into that bestie mix as well, because he's very supportive and very, very honest. And I just like having honest people around me to help direct me.
That's beautiful. And I thank you for sharing that. It seems like you have some really powerful kind of giving relationships in your life that consist of folks telling you the truth, telling you a little bit about yourself, right? Holding you accountable
Yeah.
and pushing you forward. And thank you. And before I go to the next question, I know yesterday we sat down for a meal and I was clearly feeling some things and on the move. And I appreciated you I think that you said something to me along the lines of like, you're with me now. So like, this is a safe space. And I appreciate that. And I want to extend that back to you during our time today. So thank you.
And I have to say you have already. I walked in, I immediately felt loved, safe, and supported. My mood completely changed in a great way.
Good. Well, you already know that's what you gave to me yesterday. So let's talk a little bit about TriLuna, kind of this business that you and Elizabeth Moore Emick have built. Can you take us really thinking about the audience as, a founder earlier in their business, in particular, founder of color, Black founder? Get us into the weeds about how you built, this network of connections and clients around TriLuna. What are some of those pivotal moments that you want to call out that you feel like have driven your success?
Well, like you stated at the beginning of this conversation, Elizabeth and I did participate in pre-flight here at the Entrepreneur Center, and we took advantage of every opportunity that was crafted to us or given to us in that 14-week span. And what I mean by that is that we were meeting with everyone, even if we didn't know what we were meeting with them about. When we first started the business, TriLuna was a direct to consumer and B2B. And we got a lot of advice from a lot of people in the beginning. A lot of people didn't understand because Elizabeth and I both have yoga backgrounds and yoga certifications. So they wanted to make us more of a yoga studio. And we're like, no, we want to take wellness into the corporate space because both of us had left our corporate jobs due to burnout, which we didn't have that language in 2016. And we wanted to create a solution for employees because all we had available to us was these beautiful gyms that could make us physically well, but our mental health was not supported. So we crafted not only physical classes, but stress management workshops, redefining what wellness means to you, purpose and productivity. And the pre-flight program really helped us kind of craft that and what that looked like as a business plan. And I want to jump back to meeting with everyone. We were meeting with lawyers. We were meeting with people who weren't even remotely close to the wellness field and in tech and music, and just getting all of the knowledge that we could and made it make sense to us. Our very first customer was a tax representative that we met here at the Entrepreneur Center, brought us into one of the largest CPA companies here. Craft CPA was one of our first clients because we took advantage and we were telling people what it is that we wanted to do and we wanted to provide. Pre-COVID, everybody thought we were crazy. As you can imagine, we got questioned a lot, like, what's the return on investment? And we were really trying to make sense out of something that was happening in our lives right now to the everyday person. And then COVID happened, and we became the subject matter experts in mental well-being. And so everything kind of switched where we actually are now the solution to the problem. And we had made so many pivots, but we stayed so connected to the people and the relationships that we made just alone in this building. And they were able to introduce us to more people. And we got smart at how we were networking and who we were networking with. We met our business coach actually here years ago. Didn't even know that later on, 3.5 years into our business, we would bring this person on as our business coach. And we did. And we got very clear in our messaging last year. We knew that work was changing. We were already innovative on the healthcare, like the wellness front. We were one of the first companies in this area to craft up a business like this. And so we had to get innovative on how work has changed. And so we were like, nobody's going into the office anymore. But what we know, what is happening here in our city alone, is that a lot of people are coming here for conferences, meetings, and retreats. And so our business coach helped us craft up, get really, like, I'm talking heads down. We even had to make the choice that we might not be selling right now. We might not be taking in revenue. And it was very, very scary. Last year was so scary. But then come the fourth quarter, we just started getting all of these requests for everything. But that's because we took the time to slow down, to get really specific. Like, we are going to provide wellness solutions, experiences, enhancements to these existing conferences, meetings, and retreats. And it also helped us feed our other mission of providing opportunity for other wellness professionals, because we are firm believers that everybody's wellness looks different. So we offer everything from movement classes to experiences like sound bath and mobile massage, and even working with our hands with flower bouquet making and aura readings and tarot cards, because we feel like wellness is diverse and your wellness is not going to look like mine. And I am so grateful that we took that time to step back, to really reevaluate our business, because we're coming into year 5, and the second year of our business was during a pandemic, and we had to get, like, is this going to be a hobby or is this real life?
You know, you describe you were meeting with everyone. You were doing this, like, you were connecting cross industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially doing like customer discovery work.
Yeah.
How, and I know that you still do that. Like, you know, I've only been in Nashville for 7-8 months, but I know that you are well connected and, you know, have very intentionally kind of built the community around you and the TriLuna brand. Can you walk us through just with, and again, maybe in the beginning there wasn't a ton of intention because you were just like, we need to get, if we're going to launch this business, we need to ensure that we know we need these relationships. We know we need feedback. We know we need to see if we can attract clients, buyers.
Yeah.
But can you walk us a little through of maybe what that kind of the intention of your approach around building your network around TriLuna?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say in the very beginning, while we were in pre-flight, I think it was just Liz and I coined ourselves as the students as we're going to pay for this. So anybody that we can meet with at this time. And I remember, and I'll answer your question, I remember meeting with the tax guy specifically, and I was like, why are we even meeting with him? Like, this doesn't even make sense to me. But we got in the room, and he's talking to us about taxes and things as business owners that you don't think about, right? You don't think about as an entrepreneur because most of us are coming off a corporate job where that's taken care of. So we just made ourselves as uncomfortable as possible and didn't feel like we had to know anything going into these meetings. And I think that's where people kind of shy away from expanding their networks because they feel like they have to be prepared and they have to know. And it's really not your job to know. Your job is to be the expert at what it is that you do. But at least as a business owner, I know for myself, I want to have knowledge of all these different areas. That way, when I'm hiring people to take over these things, I have a knowledge of what it is that I'm looking for and who I'm looking for because I took the time to learn something. And I think that's so important, like I said, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we can look at this and be like, oh, I don't want to talk to this financial person because my money is not right. Like, but is the money ever going to get right if you don't talk to the person? And we go into these situations with shame and embarrassment when we got to really just be vulnerable and willing to learn and be exposed. Like when they say, when you're doing something different, you get uncomfortable. That's the same thing with networking. That's the same thing with connections. You're going to get uncomfortable.
No, I really appreciate that piece too, because I think that discomfort exists in so many different ways, even for folks that aren't founders. But when I think to your point, we have to, in terms of thinking bigger about business, in terms of thinking about more creatively about kind of who our services are for, who our product is for. I think meeting the more people you can meet, you really never know,
Yeah.
right? Especially at the beginning, like that's not time wasted. You know, there's of course points where later in your business you learn what to say no to, right? Quickly, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I think hustling and getting your name out there, and forming those meaningful connections with folks kind of across your market is really important. So shifting a little bit, because you had mentioned and just thinking about kind of the mindset that you and Elizabeth had at the beginning, thinking, where you're at in 2024 and beyond. What are some of the biggest operational or mindset shifts that you all have experienced or intentionally leaned into when you think about this is how we were moving through business in 2018, 2019 versus now?
I laugh because me and Liz always, when we even see pictures of ourselves when we launched in 2018, we're always like, oh, we were little babies. Like you can look at the pictures. Liz and I didn't know what we didn't know. We were two women who were very ambitious, and we were like, we are going to make this happen. We don't care. We're going to go after what it is that we want. And one thing that I can appreciate about Liz is that both her and I, when we work, we're going to work. We're going to give 100%. And we did that in the beginning. We still do that today. We won't ever ask a contractor, vendor, anybody to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. Just last week, I'm, piling up mats in the back of a pickup truck. But these are the things that we did in the very beginning. We got in there. We never went in with the mindset, and I can say that mindset is still same today, that we're not too good to do anything in our business. we have touched every part of this business. And I think that that's what's made us elevate in our mindset. I feel when you are in the first 3 years of your business, pandemic or not, you're in a survival mode. You're willing to say yes to anything because you're still trying to figure out your identity, right? You're trying to figure out, you want people to love what you love so much that you're willing to adjust. You're willing to, go down on your prices. You're willing to do something that you really don't do, but it kind of fits, but you're going to do it because you need a check. And I can honestly say the first 4 years of our business was like that. And it wasn't until we invested in a coach and we took the time to get real. Like, okay, real life things are happening in our lives. People are getting married, babies are on the horizon. We got to figure out if this is real or is this going to be a hobby? And I think the hardest thing is to invest in your business, especially when you don't have a lot. But we had to do what we had to do. We had to make it work. And we did. And we sacrificed almost 10 months of revenue. But boy, oh boy, I can tell you that, from October until now, it's been great revenue-wise and mindset-wise, because now what we did last year made us take a look at everything we did over the last 5 years and really value ourselves as business owners. We're putting ourselves in different networking positions where we're networking different. We're networking with people who are not only in this area, we're expanding the networks into different cities and even out of the country, just growing as individuals. And I think what makes a difference between 2018 and now is that, number one, we know our business inside and out. We know our worth. And we are not afraid to say no to something that is not ours until it's signed on the paper. Because we used to have this mindset like, oh my God, we can't lose this. We can't lose this. Now it's like, it ain't even ours if they don't want it. If they don't want to pay, then holler at us when you can. We'll keep it moving. And I know that's really, really hard, but like your time, people have to understand their time, especially if you're a person like me, you got a lot of different things going on. Your time is money. Your talent is money. And until you value that and position yourself as a business, yourself or your business, then other people will not take you as serious if you're not taking yourself that serious.
That's very real. And so a quick follow-up to that. So what, can you share with listeners just in terms of, I appreciate some of the vulnerability that comes with just describing and getting into details and the humility, right? Of just, look, this is where we started. And It was actually, the beginning felt like a little more like a few years, right? That's real. That's real. That's honest. What is next? What are you excited about?
Well, the thing that I'm most excited about, and just so the listeners know, Elizabeth is on maternity leave right now. And yay, baby Carden. Sorry, I had to give my boy a shout out.
Yes.
And what I've realized and what I'd love to be able to tell Liz when we check in is that, like, people need us now. We're not trying. It's funny because Liz is over a lot of the marketing and branding for our company, and that has kind of slowed down with her being out. But people are making their way to us because they need us. And we've spent a year plus making our brand real and making people know who we are. And it feels great to be a need, right? Like everybody wants their business to be a need in the beginning, but what we have to remember as creators and innovators, they don't see it yet. They don't see it yet. I mean, being a Beyonce fan for so long, the country is not a surprise to me because this is something that she probably did a long time ago, but the world wasn't ready for it. She's an innovator. Like that song was written probably a long, long time ago, but she had to wait until we were ready. And that's what I think about TriLuna. In 2018, people weren't serious about their mental well-being. And
especially corporations.
oh, yeah.
Right?
Until they started losing people, right? Until you get these people who are working at these companies who have made this a part of their lifestyle and they're demanding it. And most of the event planners that are in place, luckily for us, they're women just like us. They're women who truly believe in mindfulness, who's going to push it up on their company. And like I said, TriLuna is a need now. And that's the greatest feeling in the world. It's like, yes, they need us. Finally.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And cheers to that.
Thank you.
So in terms of what is next for TriLuna Wellness, what are you most excited about?
I'm so excited about the expansion of TriLuna. We started here in Nashville. Now we have made our way throughout the Southeast. We're doing a lot of work in Georgia area, specifically Atlanta, moving our way to Florida, the Carolinas. So it's really exciting to see our baby grow into these other areas. And I'm just ready to take our physical. We've been international through some of the clients that we work with, but like take our physical beings international and continue to spread the word on prioritizing well-being and mental health.
All right, Coach. So I have one more question. As look, and I'm asking for myself too, as a parent of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, trying to maintain, hopefully thrive some days, right? But
Yeah.
even if I have a baseline, in terms of focusing my energy in work, life, children, spouse, the idea of wellness and like prioritizing wellness can be a daunting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk through just a couple like baby steps? Like I'm talking wellness in small doses for the average founder person trying to prioritize a little bit of a reset during what can be highly stressful, sometimes like volatile days.
Yeah. My first thing that I'm gonna say, and I say it on every podcast that I'm on, is that we have to stop overthinking wellness. You have to, because it becomes overwhelming and then you don't want to do it. You don't want to take care of yourself. It's simple. It literally is simple. Like you said, simple doses, because simple starts to become repeated and it gets in. So for me, I love walking. I used to walk around my neighborhood with headphones in and things like that. But now I still do walk, but I don't listen to anything because that is actually my time. Not be on my phone, not be in front of the computer. It's just my time to talk with myself, connect with God or whoever your source is, but like it's my time. I have calendar times. It's like morning walk and coffee. And it's super simple. I literally will grab my cup of coffee and I'll walk up the street and I'll walk back down the street. That's it. Even if it's just one day a week, right? I also think like practicing 3 deep breaths before you go to bed at night. allowing your body to reset. And I also feel like when people write out goals, they should be writing out wellness goals too. That's a part. If you're doing monthly planning, in my planner, I literally have ABJ, TriLuna, personal. And in that personal, it's like, for this month, make sure you have a dinner with your friends because your people are your community, like we said at the very beginning of this call. Making sure I'm scheduling time with my friends. With you, with the kids, maybe it's something that y'all could do together as a family. When we get done eating, let's just go walk, come back, and do. It gives everybody the opportunity. So now you don't have an excuse to be like, I can't get away to take care. Make it a family thing to where it's normal now. After we eat, we do this. It can be as simple as, I'm a coffee drinker. I will drink a cup of water before I drink my coffee because that's what I personally have made a part of my wellness. So I think these simple things that we do, and I want people not to confuse physical fitness with wellness and well-being, because your well-being is different. Some people, they have to have that physical movement, and that's fine. There's no knocks on that. But don't feel like you got to go work out twice a week if that's not your thing. I think people need to start tapping back into the things that actually make them feel good. If that's 30 minutes of watching Real Housewives because you don't really have drama in your life, then, that's what it is. It's simple. And it doesn't have to look, yours is not going to look like mine. Mine is not going to look like yours. We used to always say in the beginning of our business, and we say, your wellness is your wellness. Wellness is not one size fits all. It's about bio-individuality, and that's what it is.
I love it. So figuring out, you can figure something out. It can be as small as, look, I'm out here like, yeah, I can drink a glass of water before I drink my coffee.
And I think it also helps tap back into that inner child. When I was young, I mean, still now, but like I really loved dancing. I thought I was going to be like Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, like for real, Madonna. Like those were my favorite people in the world. And I think about what I do now. Yoga is choreography. I do that, right? It's just, it looks different than choo-choo, boom, boom. But I was able to tap into something that I actually really enjoy, moving my body freely, having coordination in what it is that I do, and tapping into those things that you really enjoyed as a kid. I like things that are competitive. I try to stay away from them because I am a very competitive person, but that like gets me going. Like not all the time, but like I need a little bit of that every now and then. So just tapping in again to what it is that you like. And if you're having a hard time with that, it's a great opportunity for you to date yourself in wellness. Try different things that you wanted to try.
I like it. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Welcome.
Yeah, and thank you for making your way back to Twendé as Coach ABJ. Thank you for being a fast friend to me as someone who's new to Nashville, putting down roots. And I'm grateful to know you, and the EC is grateful to know you. And so thank you for your time.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to share this space with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening. And thanks to the David and Rebecca Clemens family, along with funding support from Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, for making this podcast possible. From the Chase Studio at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, I'm M. Wilder, inviting you to engage with our Twendé Accelerator program by visiting ec.co/Twendé.